because it feels maybe like the Drop Bears are very difficult to beat. Sydney Drop Bears up against the NoC Predators. If anyone can take down a Drop Bear, it's a Predator. Jordan, I would suspect, and we'll have to see how well they go. So we head on over to Nepal to start this one off on Control.
Now, the one advantage that NoC Predators have coming into this week compared to last week is that they do have Grogan back. He was not there last week, and so it was a little bit weird for NoC Predators. They had to sort of swap all their players around. A couple of people playing DPS.
That's a good point, right?
Otherwise wouldn't.
That's potentially a very big deal.
So now we've got Grogan back here, and he's going to be playing Tracer. NoC is going to be starting off on the Farah, so not going to be too many players actually to deal with the Farah on either side. No Soldier from either, no McCree or anything like that. Just the Tracers. The Farahs are going to be doing a lot of damage as the initial fight does come out. Shoyo gets the pick onto Oily. Now we see the floodgates probably start to open for NoC Predator, or rather for Sydney Drop Bears, as they will start to push forward. Shoyo gets 2D socks. NoC Predator's under a little bit of pressure now.
Grogan finally gets picked up by the other Tracer, and Noz managing to do a bit of damage as the point comes unlocked here. Who's going to find this one first, Jordan? I don't know. Drop Bear's probably in a reasonable position, but it's the NoC Predators on the point for now. Will get denied.
Yeah, it's still really a little bit back and forward. Neither team having gained control of this fight just yet. That's a good kill, though, onto Sinai from Shoyo. The Diva being taken out of the picture. That's one of the things that can sort of try and deal with the Farah. But for now, neither Farah or Mercy has gone down just yet. It's so difficult when you've got a Farah being pocketed by a Mercy, because you hit that first rocket, you're like, sick. Now I need to hit another one.
Yeah, and when they're actually quite difficult to do. Normally that healing probably comes through first.
Ooh, there's one more.
Not back on the point. Halfway through. If you're Sydney Drop Bears, you'd like to think you can stop this in their tracks. And Oily going down to the pulse bomb. Great work from Tracer. Noz will use the ulti. Barrage comes out. Still alive for now, but surely goes down. There we go.
There you go.
33% here for the Drop Bears. Looking good after a very, very clean start there onto the point.
That was a nice pulse bomb from Guzto, just sneaking it through the defense matrix of Sinai. As soon as it went down, he threw it out. And then you saw a little bit of average positioning out from NoC Predators. Farah Mercy combo where they kind of got stuck up against the wall. They went down fairly easily, but at that point I think the fight was already over. Now NoC Predators have defaulted straight back onto the dive composition. Still not really much to deal with the Farah, and the rocket barrage does come out. Not any real kills coming off that, nor too much damage actually, as we do see NoC Predators continue their push forward. 2D stocks, the ultimate going to be coming up shortly. Shoyo does pop the self-destructor. That's going to finish off Noz, but he would have probably died anyway. And this looks like, again, another fairly easy one fight for Sydney Drop Bears. But they use quite a lot of ultimates there, and NoC Predators, not so many of their own.
Yeah, it looked maybe like that barrage wasn't going to work. We saw the barrier come out from Winston, which was quite handy.
Yeah.
Didn't really do that much damage, but it didn't matter because it cost quite a lot, and in the end, the Drop Bears were able to push through. So, 88% here, Jordan, looking very, very good right now. The Drop Bears, NoC Predators with one last final push onto the point. What can they do?
Oh,
Grogan's come round.
That's so bad. 2D Socks just a little bit too late there getting the ultimate up, and does pop it, has to pop it, but it's really not going to be as effective as you would have wanted it to be. You wanted all 6 players from NoC Predators alive there. Unfortunately, they get picked off a little bit too early when 2D Socks is on 95% of sound barrier, and that's probably going to be the map over. Sydney Drop Bears should close this one out. Billa, good rocket barrage to close out Oily and Grogan. And Special Kid, well, there's a pulse bomb there for you, my friend. The attempt here from Noz. You're not going to get anything done there, 1v6. There's just going to be too much focus fire. Sydney Drop Bears come away with map number 1, 100-0.
Yeah, much better barrage coming out there.
Round number 1.
For the Drop Bears. But really not that much you can do when half your team is already dead, I suspect. So, makes life difficult. Haha, Sinai.
Got a couple of kills towards the end there. But not going to help, obviously.
No. But it's nice, right, when the screen starts going blank and you hear the ding-ding of picking up a couple of kills. I don't know. Not as good as a map win, though.
So, no Jordation on the roster of Sydney Drop Bears. Guzto playing today. Not sure what to make of that.
Jordation actually played some good games last week.
Yeah. We'll see if that's going to continue throughout this, but regardless, Guzto, I mean, I've got to say Guzto's performing pretty well there, so no complaints from me. Bill are going to be on the Genji this time. And again, just going to be the start initial fight. Everyone shooting at each other, no real kills, just some damage, trying to work the mistakes of the opposing team. And there is one Special Kid being left on his own. Cyanide does manage to peg one back though, and NoC Predators doing a good job of really contesting this first fight.
Yeah, well, Drop Bears have lost a couple so far, and Predators looking good on the point. We'll see if this continues, with Grogan picking up one. Gusto trying to bring this back, but surely they find the point. We'll see the trickle come back onto the point now, though, from the Drop Bears, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea. No, they will use that jump pack to get out of town. And the NoC Predators going to pick up the point to start things off. Better start than last round.
Absolutely. They do have the ult advantage as well. Should be coming in shortly. Noz is close by. Grogan here, though, does have the Pulse Bomb available, so keep an eye on him, see if he can find any kind of pick here with that, maybe even multiple. Shoyo seems to be quite aware. Not sure where that Pulse Bomb went, but it didn't do too much. Gusto does still get rid of Special Kid. Not sure that's going to be enough, though, to win the fight here for Sydney Drop Bears. NoC Predators seem to be wiping them again.
They do indeed. 2 down, almost 3 down there. The respawns come out, but NoC Predators looking very, very convincing on the site for now. We'll get healed up. Take a look at these ultimates ready to go. 2D Socks ready with a sound barrier. Special Kid Oily and Sinai both getting much, much closer as well, Jordan. So we'll see. Maybe Billa can do something here with the Dragon Blade, but 55% halfway here for NoC Predators.
But 2D Socks does have a defensive support ult available. No,
he doesn't.
Quats, that's big. Now what can Billa do here with the Dragon Blade? No kills actually coming out from that one. Sinai gets 2 with the self-destruct. And NoC Predators, they seem to be holding onto this point once more. I thought Sydney Drop Bears should have that off the back of the pick onto 2D Socks, but in fact, it actually works against them now because 2D Socks is going to have that sound barrier available next fight too.
Wow, 80% and only potentially one fight here for the Drop Bears to really have a shot at this. They'd love to pick this up 2-0. The NoC Predators, however, are having nothing of that right now. Grogan comes in. Does he find anyone? Not for now. You'll see that sound barrier come out on defense, but Sinai's already gone down. The Drop Bears may be in a position to bring this back, Jordan.
Potentially. Gusto trying to find a little bit more out of this one. Face still has the ultimate available, and there it is popped. Shoyo with the self-destruct here should be popping that one off, and you can hear it going off in the background. Sydney Drop Bears are going to win this fight, and they will be able to recap, flip it over. I shouldn't say recap because they haven't actually capped it all just yet. But now, can they hold it off? 99% there for NoC Predators. All they really need is one fight.
One good fight, as you said, will do the job. But it's potentially a big ask, to be honest, Jordan, because the Drop Bears have looked very good
Give them an inch,
general. But that was a very nice 99% coming out. And Noz, what can he do? Oh, nothing for now. Bertlog has gone down. Noz fighting, hacking, slashing. I hate it when people say that, but that really is what we saw. We'll see if he can continue the fight for now. Trying to get the point back 30%. Drop Bears losing a couple of players.
Yeah, the self-destruct shouldn't be doing too much there. Sinai is going to get back into the mech though. Special Kid gets the pick onto Billa and the flip comes across. Sydney Drop Bears find a way to lose that fight. Billa just didn't really get too much done. Noz, or rather was Noz the one that, with the Dragon Blade, and he didn't get too much done, but Sydney Drop Bears are going to continue to try and trickle onto the point. At this point,
I don't think they can do it, Jordan.
Yeah, look, it's not going to happen.
And this has been some very good play coming out from NoC Predators. We thought that it was going to be difficult, but 100-39 is a convincing victory here on the second point. Yeah. One apiece now, and whoa, if they can pick up this first map, what an upset that would be.
Would be indeed. Sydney Drop Bears, we pegged them to be one of the best teams in this group. They are being put under pressure right now. Predators looking good so far.
Yeah.
Dive Comp and Billa is back onto the Sombra. Gusto on the Soldier. So let's see what Billa can do. Probably won't see too much Sombra on control maps in general.
We haven't seen much Sombra at all today.
No, but this one, you know, there's a lot of key health packs around the place that you can hack. A lot of areas that you can utilize, a lot of flanking routes. So not disappointed by Billa picking up the Sombra here, but see if he can make it work. Certainly was able to last week. This week this is his first time, so that's where the question is going to come from.
Who do we hack first? That's the real question,
Not
Jordan.
a good fight to take. He just decides to get back out, which is fair enough. He gets the information, though, for his team. They're going to know where NoC Predators are coming from. Billa looking for... Oh, here's a pick for him.
Surely.
Yep.
There we go. Special Kid goes down. Was only on about 20% HP when that came through. The Genji gets picked up as well. Nice little rocket's going to come out there. 2D Socks goes down. Billa playing very well here, and Steino going to jump off.
Yeah. Grogon already jumping off the edge there as well. Good work from Billa, getting the initial pick there onto the Zenyatta. Just, you know, not committing to things that aren't going to favor him. And that's the difference here for him, is that he can choose when he wants to fight, and he's working it quite nicely. Guzto as well, good pick onto the Genji, I will add, with the Helix Rockets. On the fight for the Sydney Drop Bears, and now they're well established on that point. A lot of ultimate advantage for them as well. But Face only on 36%, so that needs some growing. But like we'll come up with the Transcendence shortly though, which should be enough to hold off that first real commitment from NoC Predators.
Let's see, they're going to try and fight this one all the way back on the Sydney Drop Bears side of the map. Gusto pushes through, but Billa's the one who finds two, taking out one tank and one DPS. So this is quite impressive. Billa, you can see Jordan has that EMP ready to go as well. They get about, what, 20% on the point, but it doesn't matter because we're at 45 right now. The NoC Predators are struggling. Yeah, Billa definitely having an impact right now on Sombra. Going to go looking for a little bit more. He bumps into the Diva, but he's okay. Still not so sure about this one. Has to translocate out, which is, I feel, a good decision. Waiting for the opportune moment again. Invisibility does come up. Oh, there's a couple of isolated supports, but he's got the EMP, and that's what he wants. Dropping a lot of players' abilities. Guzto and Quads following up on that. Easy fight win from Sydney Drop Bears. Really only Billa utilizing the ultimate there, although I guess Shoyo did use self-destruct. Not much invested by Sydney Drop Bears. No, and as we get closer and closer to that 99%, it's going to be a bigger and bigger ask here. Even if the NoC Predators can come through and pick up the point, Jordan, to try and hold it for 99% against the Drop Bears, it's going to be a huge ask. And what can Quats do here? You can see Winston is ready to go. That Primal Rage does come out, and he's going to try and take the fight to the other Winston, who's also had that Discord orb go off. So if they can isolate and win onto the point, almost tried to flip it there, but in the nick of time, probably timed perfectly, one might suggest. The double kill comes out, and surely now with this tac visor, that is that. Yeah, Special Kid really not having a fun time on that round. Got continually picked off, that time at 95% of his Transcendence for that final fight. Taken out early. Not really much that NoC Predators could do past that. They got taken down one by one, picked apart. Sydney Drop Bears do come away with map number 1. It was a bit backwards and forwards, but that final round a little bit more convincing from Sydney Drop Bears, which is a bit more what we expected out of them. Yeah, I'm not sure if the second part was a bit of an abnormality we didn't expect to see, or whether it was just a matter of the guys from NoC Predators actually playing very well. I think the NoC Predators were playing pretty well. Like, they were taking the fights that they wanted to win. They were utilizing their ultimates generally pretty well. I couldn't really sort of say that they played too badly, really. But I mean, Sydney Drop Bears at the end of the day were a little bit better. I think the shift or the swap onto Sombra from Billa was a big advantage for them. I expect he's going to continue to run that throughout this series, given how well that has worked in that last round. So overall, it just seemed like Sydney Drop Bears kind of adapted to that one a little bit quicker and had that one up over NoC Predators. Overall, though, I think that the NoC Predators that we're seeing now is maybe a step above perhaps what we thought we were going to see. We'll have to obviously wait and see as the rest of the maps progress. Yeah. But if you're a NoC Predators fan, if you're a NoC Predators player, you go, you know what, we can go okay here. I definitely think this NoC Predators is at the very least looking better than what we saw last week. Yes, they got a 3-1 victory over Moonlight last week, but I don't know, it just seemed a little bit discombobulated there for NoC Predators. And now that they've got Grogan back in their roster, they're sort of all back on their roles, their specific roles, probably feeling a little bit more comfortable in this matchup than they were. I mean, it's not that they were uncomfortable last week, but, you know, there's that familiarity here for NoC Predators coming into this now with all of the players on their roster where they need to be, and it's working a little bit better, I think, for them, hopefully. So, map number 2, Jordan. What do we reckon? Hollywood Numbani. I'm pulling for Hollywood. Okay, let's go and take a look. Yes. Okay, so, Sydney Drop Bears. Did they play that one last week? I have to have a little look down at my cheat sheet here. Yes, they did. So what does that make you feel? How do you feel excited about this now? They also won on it. Yeah. That's good. That's good. We've seen some interesting results on Hollywood so far in Aussie Contenders.
Yeah.
We've seen some pretty good plays. We've seen some great starts that have turned into pretty average 0.2 and 0.3s. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how it pans out. But for me, there's definitely a potential here for the NoC Predators to sort of change things up. I guess on the flip side of that is that if the Drop Bears are really going to show us just how dominating they can be, it's going to be here on Hollywood.
Yeah, and also this was a map that NoC Predators did lose last week. So they lost one map to Moonlight last week. It was Hollywood. So maybe you take from that what you will. It is only a very small sample size. But I think Sydney Drop Bears looked really, really good on this one last week against Jam. They held them out very, very easily on the second stage. And NoC Predators, with that loss, the questions are bound for them. But I have some good news for you, Ben. Jordation is back here for Sydney Drop Bears. Guzto has been subbed out. Jordation is in. The Jordation Nation is...
You're a fan, aren't you?
I'm a big fan. I don't want to call bias because I have the same name.
Is it because you've got the same name,
no,
Jordan?
It's not. Not
Are
at
you
all.
Sure?
I think
if
he
there
just
was
plays
someone
well.
called Sand Nation, I would probably be a fan of them. So
All
I
right.
don't know.
Look, I promise you Jordation's going to come up huge on this map, and you're going to be a fan after it as well. So, I hope I'm not wrong. Jordation, don't let me down.
For your sake, you're not wrong,
Don't
Jordan.
let me down, my friend.
Oh, dear. NoC
Otherwise, I'll put you
Predators
in
up
jail.
against the Drop Bears.
Mm.
NoC Predators, I feel there is a chance here for them to show us that there's bits and pieces that they can do. Because I feel like we talked about the brawls, and, you know, sometimes in brawling games, it's easier for the lower team. But I think maybe the NoC Predators might show us a little bit better on these maps, a little bit more tactics. I don't know.
Well, we will have to see.
Just how wrong can Sandman be in one day? We're about to find out.
I think very wrong, actually, in this case. I am expecting Sydney Drop Bears to have a really, really good time here on Hollywood. Billa is on the Sombra. Jordation on the Tracer. Back to pretty much exactly what we saw them running last week on this map. But for NoC Predators, it's the tried and true dive composition on the attack first. Let's find out how they're going to make this one work.
So let's kick things off. NoC Predators going to push out on attack. We follow the Genji. This defense, I like it, Jordan. I like the defense. I don't know about you, but big fan of the old dive. We'll see if it plays out for them. Coming around the back, though, are NoC Predators. They managed to get a little bit of room to work with. You can see they've also managed to hack that point.
Yeah, Shoyo was just under so much pressure there with the Discord on him. Good focus fire from NoC Predators, and Sydney Drop Bears, they're going to lose this fight off the back of it. They just don't have the front line to stand behind. Jordation and Billa, they're fighting hard and doing what they can, but it's 2 DPS against 4 NoC Predators players. Eventually, they will be going down here, buying only so much time. That's a good initial push from NoC Predators.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. They can't use that health pack, but they won't need to, Jordan, because they managed to capture the point. 5.5 minutes on the clock as well.
If you remember correctly though, Ben, or if I remember correctly, which I definitely do, I'm never wrong, Jam Gaming did cap the point very quickly initially on Hollywood when they were up against Sydney Drop Bears as well. But they came unstuck in this second Streets phase. Once Sydney Drop Bears won a single fight here, Jam Gaming was not able to come back into this second phase at all. Jordation, that's a bit of a whiff on the pulse bomb flying off into the middle of nowhere, and he's under a lot of pressure right now, but Quats has got 2D stocks, so that should slow things down a little bit here for NoC Predators.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, but they swing it around, and finally it comes back, and surely this one gets held up.
Discords are being really, really effective, actually.
Discord is a very good ability.
Unfortunately, not getting the kills they would have wanted, but I'm thinking Special Kid is doing a pretty good job right now on Zenyatta. It's just not fully translating through to the team fights for NoC Predators. But Billa has got the EMP. If Noz uses his ulti, expect something to be happening here. But Billa gets his off first, and that means that no one can do anything for NoC Predators. I'm not even going to get excited about this one because we all know how that is going to go. Yeah. Really, really excellent EMP out from Billa, though, I must say.
1 EMP equal 1 win, pretty much. Yeah, and that is certainly the case this time around. So starting to eat a little bit into that time bank, but it's a very big time bank, Jordan. And they're going to have to eat a lot of time to try and push this one back. We take a look at the ultimates for now. We can see 5 up against only 3. Special Kid will get his up, and 2D socks, one would expect.
Yep.
So maybe if they wait to push in, but for now they're going to try and make something of this.
That isolated Zenyatta, Quad spots it out. Billa would have been the one to call it, and Quad's just jumping on top of him. Great teamwork there from Sydney Drop Bears. That's probably another one fight, and this one, they don't even need to use any ultimates at all. That gives Billa a little bit more time to build up that EMP. Jordation did, in fact, use the Pulse Bomb, but, I mean, it's a Tracer ultimate. It charges so fast anyway. I'm not even going to count that one. NoC Predators, they're going to change up their roster a little bit here. Sinai does decide to go back onto the D.Va. Was on the Orisa for a moment, but okay. Anyway, NoC Predators, they also didn't really commit anything there, but the time, you know, it cost them another minute. And Sydney Drop Bears are doing a good job.
They are indeed. Maybe this is a fight that the guys from NoC can win, but as you say, Jordan, that's a little bit late, to be honest. And well, this Zenyatta maybe will go down up there fighting on their lonesome Noz. Drops back, picks up a health pack, ready to go with the Dragon Blade, but maybe won't need it. The payload there is stopped once again. Sinai goes down, and 2D Socks will get picked up as well. Yep, so a wasted Lucio ultimate essentially there for 2D Socks. You know, it wasn't necessarily his fault, so to speak, given that NoC Predators, they would have expected to commit to that fight, but given that Special Kid does go down so quickly in that fight, 2D Socks utilizing the ultimate. Everyone else has decided not to commit to that. They haven't altered, which is the right decision from NoC Predators, but it does mean that 2D Socks' ultimate was pointless. Essentially, he could have just not altered there, and the result would have been exactly the same. At least he would have the ultimate for this fight. What's Billa gonna do here? Billa with the EMP ready to go, and let's see if we can jump out and use this one in the middle of all of them. That's okay, but not good enough to grab the Zenyatta. Transcendence comes out. Jordation fights two. There's three. Grogan goes down, and NoC Predators get destroyed. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that one was going to go. Billa did get picked off quite quickly. Only got a few people with that EMP as well, but Jordation with a very big Pulse Bomb. 2 kills off the back of that one. Again, Sydney Drop Bears do hold strong, and they're actually winning these fights before NoC Predators even has the opportunity to use their ultimates. Noz has been holding on to that one for ages. Same too can be said for Oily. Like, NoC Predators are not even getting close to even being in a position to fight. Sydney Drop Bears are killing them before that. And Noz is going to die here again. He's going to be picked off. Great work from both the DPS there from Sydney Drop Bears, working in unison. Yeah, it seemed like an interesting choice of Primal Rage, but seems to have worked out to be perfectly fair. Oily picks up one. Sinai goes down to the opposing D.Va. Grogan going hard, finds the frag as well. And if you can get the other Tracer there, that could be useful. Shoyo, I don't know what he can do. We'll see if he can get back onto the point and slow this down. But now the rest of the team is trickling back, and Grogan gets forced out. Yep, good work again from Sydney Drop Bears. Again, very few ultimates used by them. Billa's got an EMP coming up for this next fight. 56 seconds on the clock. If he gets a 4 or 5 man EMP off here, this might be exactly where NoC Predators get held. And here he's looking for it. Ooh. Thought he was going to just fully commit to that one, but decides to just get the hack onto the Genji. Yeah, that's not a bad way to start, to be perfectly honest. And there we go. Genji is down. Special Kid. What can they do? Not much is the answer. Grogan as well. Can't even find a health pack there, so that's less than ideal. And now they have to hold back for one last fight. Good work, though, from NoC Predators disengaging that fight. They recognize that they have enough time for at least one more push here. They, again, haven't committed anything to that fight. Noz still sitting on the Dragon Blade. Have to see him use it this fight, regardless of how things are going. There's no more saving your ultimates for the perfect moment. This is it for NoC Predators. They need to make it work, and now they can't because Billa gets a massive EMP off. Can Sydney Drop Bears follow it up? I think this is it. There you go. Easy life. After an exceptionally good first point coming out from NoC Predators, the Drop Bears flipped it over and said, you're done. That was it. They didn't let them get more than halfway through that second point. It was really 2 entirely different levels of team. Yep, exactly. And that's pretty much the exact scenario that we saw Jam Gaming suffering under last week when they were in that part of the map. NoC Predators just got stalled in the second Streets phase. And I gotta say, I think a big part of that is Billa on that Sombra has so much room to maneuver. He's got the high ground, he's got the flanking routes. There's so many options for a Sombra on that part of the map, and Billa uses it to perfection, making life so easy for Sydney Drop Bears. He probably won 3 fights there for Sydney Drop Bears. Well, singly off his own ult. Just one ult. NoC Predators had so little control of just that starting area. And the guys from Sydney Drop Bears pushed up so far that when that Sombra's in there, really, as you said, it's free reign. You can go anywhere at that point. Yep. But once you go invisible, Jordan, there's very little they can do about it. And with half the team dead so often, you can get to where you want. Exactly. So that's a really, really good hold from Sydney Drop Bears. They should be able to close this one out fairly easily.
They're going to go for a dive comp once more, which, again, not very surprising. This time, Billa's going on Genji. I like that for the first point. Once they get to the second point, I would be expecting to see him swap off perhaps onto the Sombra. If they feel like it, I mean, Genji definitely works on the second point as well. It's a bit of a different change-up, though, from from NoC Predators on their defense. Reinhardt, Zarya, not the composition that we see too often. They do have that Junkrat behind them, but normally in this kind of a scenario, you'd be seeing the Orisa and the Roadhog. A little bit more pick potential out of the Roadhog hook than what you're going to get from the Zarya and the Reinhardt, but maybe a little bit more defensive capabilities out from the Reinhardt shield. It's a little bit more maneuverable. In saying that, it's going to take a while for NoC to get that ultimate charged up as well, but if he can get that up, could be a big part of this team comp for NoC Predators, but I'm not so sold on this one. I don't think it's going to be a very fun time being a Zarya when you've got a Genji and a Tracer harassing you.
Yeah, definitely less than ideal. Big plays here potentially from Grogan. Let's see what he can do on the Junkrat. And for now, they're going to try and force them in and fight them out very far forward here. And Oily's found two. That's nice work. That should slow down the stem.
Yeah, definitely should for the moment. This is crucial ult building time for NoC Predators. This composition is going to be very, very hard to break once NoC has got the Graviton Surge, once Oily has got the Earth Shatter. But until then, Sydney Drop Bears, I feel, have the advantage because they can make those picks happen a little bit easier. So far, not being shown in that fight. The Moira keeping things quite healthy for NoC Predators in that kind of death ball. That's exactly what you want the Moira in. But Shoyo's gotten around behind. NoC Predators are going to try and take the advantage again, using the speed boost out of their Lucio. Taking the advantage onto Sydney Drop Bears when they see fit. Billa almost goes down there. Great tracking from NoC.
Yeah, the teams are split up, and well, the two tanks pushing through onto the site did not work out here for the Drop Bears. 2:44 on the clock. And this is how the Predators have to win, Elfishguy. If they cannot hold this point, they lose this map.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Their second phase was not good enough, and this is kind of their opportunity. So far, so good for NoC Predators. 90% on that ultimate for Oily, 78 for NoC. Both of them getting up fairly quickly. Grogan, admittedly, hasn't been doing too much damage, only at 57%, and typically the Riptire is the ultimate that charges more quickly than the others. But he should have it up very, very shortly. Sydney Drop Bears are getting theirs available as well. And Billa could be pretty big in this fight if he can get this ult off before the defensive ults for NoC Predators, which he has. 2D Socks goes down. Cyanide, the next focus. Bertlog actually gets NoC. Not so much done there from Billa, but this was the perfect time to take the fight for Sydney Drop Bears. The ultimate's just not available there for NoC Predators. You can see them coming up now, but it's too late.
What an incredibly good sound barrier coming up just as Billa was on like 20 HP, Jordan. There's the refresh come out. Allows him to continue with the Dragon Blade. They capture the point, win the fight, and now have 4 minutes to go, all of 84 meters.
High ground is being taken by NoC Predators, but it will be easily contestable by Sydney Drop Bears. They do have that dive comp. Special Kid is on his own. Why? Why? Where is anyone from NoC Predators to back him up, and why is he there on his own? Jordation says, thank you very much for the yummy snack. And that's going to be some free push now for Sydney Drop Bears.
And well, they're fighting on the high ground for now. There comes the Graviton Surge. Lots of players caught up there for now. Very, very messy. But the Predators managed to pick up two. This could work. They're going to manage to force them back for the moment. 3:30 on the clock. Still, I don't think it's so much time really to work with how far they've got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So NoC Graviton Surge is now down. What is there to really hold off with for NoC Predators? Well, ooh, there is the sound barrier, but I don't know. I mean, if Jordation can find a pick here, it's really going to put a spanner in the works for NoC Predators. They need to start off the fight by winning. They can't get back into the fight. That's a good start. 2D Socks with the boop does get the kill on the Jordation, also wasting the Pulse Bomb. Sydney Drop Bears, not really much point in actually committing to this fight, but Bertlog...
No, but they will, Jordan, they will.
Yeah, they have indeed, and it's Cyanide, just picks up 3.
Wow. A bit of a wasted fight there coming out from the Drop Bears. A couple of ultimates being used as well. the Predators, look at them, almost all on fire, at least a couple, looking very, very good.
No sound barrier, no transcendence for NoC Predators, and Billa has charged that ulti up. There's a pick from Jordation as well. This could be the time for Sydney Drop Bears to really fully commit into this one. Shoyo is going to be demeg, but the self-destruct will ensure another mech is on the way shortly. Where is the ultimate out from Billa? Is it even necessary? Jordation dancing around the back, putting so much damage into those tanks. They don't really need this ultimate, I don't think, out from Billa, but here it is anyway, and it's going to definitely result in a fight win, even though he does go down.
The EMPs also come out, and you can see that Jordan, it looks like the Drop Bears should be able to push this one through. I'm not even sure that anyone can make it back in time.
Nope. So,
GG.
2 points capped there by Sydney Drop Bears, but we could be friends maybe in the future, and he is definitely performing quite well today. Was disappointed not to see him on Nepal, but Jordation, as soon as he swapped back into that roster, having the impact there on Tracer. Excellent work across the board from Sydney Drop Bears. Billa was the standout on the defense for me. On the attack, Jordation was finding a lot of picks there as well. I really think this Sydney Drop Bears roster is working very, very cleanly together.
Yeah, a lot of very interesting things to come out of that game. Jordan, I want to ask you, though, what is it about some of these Aussie contender teams in that first point there on Hollywood? Even if they come back and play very well, they struggle to hold point number 1.
Look, it can be a really hard point to hold when you lose that first pick, and because of the prevalence of dive comp, it's the attackers that get to decide when they want to initiate that fight. They're the ones that are fighting on essentially their own terms. So unless you maybe pop that Winston early on in the dive, or the Diva, or demech the Diva or something like that, can be kind of hard to survive. As soon as one player goes down, the waterfall then sort of continues, and it is very, very difficult to hold that first point off the back of that, particularly how far the spawn is away from it. If you die, it's going to take you another 20 seconds to get back to that point. So the key really on Hollywood first is not getting picked off, not losing your life, and so far, you know, no one's really been able to do that.
No. So,